When I was just a lad, searching for my true vocation. No, sorry, I'm going to break into Muppet Treasure Island. When I was just a lad, and RPGs were burning very brightly, another, almost subculture of RPG came out. That of the game book. The most famous series is probably those done by Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone, of which there were many in the series. But another was Way of the Tiger. These books mixed RPG gameplay elements with those of Choose Your Own Adventure. While I felt they lacked many of the really important elements that make an RPG great, they were certainly not bad, had some cool stories, and had one really big pull. They could be played alone. You didn't need a group. Way of the Tiger was a fantasy series set in a fictional Japanese setting. You were a follower of the god Kwon and a ninja. This was the height of the ninja madness, and while there were many cheap movies, there were also some that were at least enjoyable or half decent for what they were trying to do. The books tied themselves into this craze. The game was done by dice and following the page references. There were a handful of punches, kicks and throws which were used when combat began. Some would do damage, and other times it would lead to a page for a set outcome. Trying to throw an oiled wrestler tended to be a bad thing as an example. There were also a collection of various skills like climbing, picklocks and so on. You couldn't take them all, so you had to choose wisely. There was also some equipment, as well as some weapons like poison darts and shuriken. The ninja sword was not part of the base gear, which was a bit of a pity, but they had to keep things manageable and, as it was a game book, simple. There were 6 books that came out originally, and the last ended on a cliffhanger. And this is where the series stayed. It has been stated that it always was meant to end that way, but I think they were falling foul of fads. They were quality books, but the whole martial art craze dropped off the radar. The almost daily releases of new kung fu or ninja films suddenly seemed to be less. Ones that were hitting the cinema suddenly became direct to VHS, and then not at all. I feel all of that contributed to the demise of The Way of the Tiger. But many of us who read them had fond memories. We remembered them, and it was a real surprise to see that they had come back into print. But not only had they come back into print, they had come with 2 new books, Way of the Tiger Zero, a prequel, and a Part 7 to eradicate that damn cliffhanger. After 30 years, I got to sit down with a new tale about a warrior monk ninja as he began his quest, his first missions, his first loss, and the setup for what was the original story. Way of the Tiger Zero, which has been titled simply Ninja, may seem a little antiquated by today's standards, but it fleshes out a couple of characters, sets up the story, builds upon what came before, and is plain fun. If you want to try something different or have kids, then these books can be a good, solid pastime for them. Ninja, vanish!